Hello, I'm Henry Little, Chief Executive of Opera Rara. And as part of our 2024 Big Give fundraising campaign that supports our work with emerging young singers, I'm going to be speaking with many artists who have featured or will feature in one of our recording projects. And today I'm delighted to be joined by the marvellous mezzo-soprano Joanna Harries. Joanna is a graduate from the National Opera Studio in the London, UK, one of our educational partners, and she made her opera rara debut on one of our most successful recent releases, Offenbach's La Princesse de Trebizond. This title won both an OPA Award and an Opus Classic Award for the Best Opera Recording of the Year. Joanna will also feature in Opera Rara's Salon Concert series, singing a recital with us on the 8th of May 2025 at 22 Mansfield Street, when she will be joined by the pianist Anna Tilbrook. Joanna will also feature on another upcoming recording project with Opera Rara, the details of which we will announce soon. So please stand by for some exciting news there. Joanna, it's wonderful to have you with us today. Please tell us a little bit about what makes Opera Rara unique and special to you.
Well, when I recorded La Princesse de Trebizond with you, which you mentioned, that was my first time recording an opera role, and with an orchestra, and with such an amazing orchestra and an amazing team. So I have very special memories of that. And I think one of the things that made it just really amazing as an experience at my first time recording an opera role like that was just the care and detail that everyone put into it. So the rest of the cast, the rest of the singers, the music staff, the language coaching, all of the Opera Rara team behind the scenes making everything run. It's just a lovely, lovely team, and it made it a really wonderful and fulfilling experience to be a part of. So I'm very glad it won those awards that you mentioned.
Well, that's very generous of you, and thank you very much. If you could select just one particular highlight from that whole Trebizond experience, going right from rehearsal, recording to concert, what would it be?
It's tricky. But I mean, Offenbach is just really fun. And there were a lot of numbers where we were basically dancing whilst recording, or on stage as well when we did it at the South Bank. I mean, you can't help but not move. It's just such great fun. But actually, the other thing that I really loved about it was listening to the other amazing singers. They were also amazing, so I'm not going to single them out. But it's just amazing being right next to them and hearing them perform like that.
Certainly, I would say, and I think you really put your finger on it when you talked about the fun. There is this incredibly infectious sense of joy and frivolity in Offenbach's music, and Trebizond is a really wonderful example of that. If I had a memory of your participation, it would be you and your other five colleagues as pages, literally improvising a version of the Can during the concert performance at the Queen Elizabeth Hall, completely impromptu and absolutely in a very spontaneous reaction to the music. But it was really wonderful for us all to watch that you just suddenly kind of all decided that you were going to start kicking your legs in the air. It was terrific. And I think also, exactly. How can you not do that? But I think also you've also highlighted something quite special about the Opera Rara recording and performance experience, which is the sense of family, the ability to work close up alongside some of the greatest opera artists in that repertoire in the world. Tell us a little bit about how it felt to be part of that family.
Oh yeah, so exciting. So I mean, I was chosen by Opera Rara to take part after being a National Opera Studio young artist. And so that was a fantastic opportunity to come out of my young artist training and straight into this really high quality, high level work, and to see exactly what it's like to work in that way, to record, to perform at a really high level. And I think being part of the family, it was just very welcoming right from the start. We felt very looked after, and everything from making sure that our French, because we had lots of very wordy, quick French, so making sure that we were really comfortable with that, and we'd have the time and focus on that, and it was really high quality. The music staff making sure that we were really prepared, but also just I already said it, but everyone's really lovely. From everyone in the whole team is really lovely, made us feel very welcome, even though I was a very, very small cog in the big machinery of that piece. I still felt very valued, and I think that's a marvelous thing. And
well, again, you've been very generous with those words, and thank you so much. I mean, I agree. You know, the transition from postgraduate training into professional practice it can be a very tricky thing to negotiate. It's not easy. Sometimes it doesn't happen as quickly or as immediately as young artists might like. But Opera Rara is very much about, and we have been since our foundation 54 years ago, has been about trying to give young artists like you their first opportunity to take part in a major studio opera recording. And I think the Trebizond project with you and your other 5 pages who sang on the recording is a good example of that. Tell us what's happening now in your professional life. What are you doing, and where can our audience expect to see you?
Well, I've just recorded my first solo album of a Scandinavian leader, and definitely the recording experience with the orchestra and Opera Rara sort of set me up, I think, gave me good skills for when I was recording that. And so that is out next year. It's called Letters from Scandinavia with pianist Sholto Kainov. And what else am I doing? I'm a City Music Foundation artist this year. So I'm doing a number of recitals as one of their artists, including at St. Martin's in the Fields and various other venues. And I'm just off very soon, next weekend, to Leeds to work with Opera North again. We're doing a revival of our Cinderella show, which is aimed at families. It's a mix of Massenet, Rossini, and Viardo, their versions of Cinderella. So that's what I've got coming up immediately.
Fantastic. It sounds like a really busy schedule, and I, for one, can't wait to hear these Scandinavian songs. Joanna, thank you so much for taking the time of what I know is a very busy schedule for you to talk to us today. And for those of you who want to know more about Joanna's work, I would urge you to visit her website to learn more about her and hear about some of these very interesting projects that she has coming up. You can do that by going to www.joannaharries.com. That's Joanna Harries in one word, where you can find out more information. But for now, please can I encourage you to support Opera Rara's 2024 Big Give campaign, which focuses on championing emerging artists. And if you're able to, I would urge you to donate to this really important cause today. You can find out more at www.opera-rara.com/big-give-2024. And we've included that link in the description below. Finally, thank you to all of you for supporting the recording debuts of so many wonderful emerging artists like Joanna Harries.
Thank you for supporting Opera Rara.